Hi, you guys. Dain K with CRE Guide. I'm your host, and CRE Guide, your guide for commercial real estate. Today, we're going to be talking about the SBA 504 program, and we have Spiro and George with Statewide CDC joining us, and Tim McLean, my coworker at New Day Commercial Capital.
I've been doing SBA lending now for about 26 years. We underwrite our own deals, so that's kind of our little thing.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I want to talk about today, because you guys are so far ahead of a lot of other CDCs out there. You guys know your deals, and you guys have a really good reputation for getting deals closed.
Having such a vast knowledge of finance and tax returns and loans and the whole process beginning to end allows us to look at things a lot differently. We really digest what we look at, and we know immediately, will this work, will this not work, and how can we make it work?
And then we have Tim McLean. Tim and I worked together for, since 2013, on and off?
26 years, commercial real estate lending, SBA, conventional loans.
The 7A loan is to finance any business use, tangible or intangible, working capital, partner buyout, business acquisition, real estate, combination of both. The 504 program is strictly for long-term fixed assets, which is large equipment and real estate. The 504 is different because we actually direct fund the government portion of the loan. There's no taxpayer money put into this product. Everyone gets the same rate and same term in the month that it happens.
We call it a win-win-win. The bank loves it because they're at a 50% loan to value in first position. SBA loves it because we're creating jobs and we're helping small businesses grow. The borrower loves it because they're coming in with 10% down, no personal collateralization of properties or anything else, and they get a 25-year fixed, fully collateralized loan, right?
What are generally the 7A rates? Are those fixed? Are they adjustable mainly, or do you see a
It depends on the
variation?
lender. The large banks will give you a 25-year fixed,
Okay.
right? Smaller lenders will tie it to a shorter treasury, a 5, a 7, right?
Okay.
And then the majority of the lenders will do it as a variable that it's tied to prime.
Got it.
Right, so that they're not stuck with any interest rate risk. The 504 program is allowed to finance up to 100% loan to value. You typically see this a lot with construction. You buy a property for $3 million and you need $1 million in construction. Your project should technically appraise at $4 million. But now you're adding interest reserves. You're adding construction fees.
Every borrower has $5 million of lending available to them for SBA funding. When you use the 7A program, all of that money goes towards that purchase. When you use the 504 program, as we said, we're splitting that loan, right? So a $5 million purchase, 2.5 is the lender, 2 is the SBA. You still have $3 million of SBA lending available for your next purchase, for your working capital, for your business acquisition, and so on. But if you use the 7A program, you've used all that money, that $4.5 million, on that purchase, leaving you not much for your future plans.
Most 504 lenders do fixed rate.
Yeah.
Of one way or another.
Yeah.
Where most 7A lenders do variable rate. The 7A fee is a tiered fee that really starts at about 3.5% for the first $1 million, then jumps to $3.75 for every dollar above $1 million. On the 504, your fee is only 2.15%, only on the government portion. So once you start getting into the $1 million range, the difference in fee is almost double. The 7A is double the fee of the 504.
And when you get into the 8 or 9 millions, well, the 7A can't help you there. Caps out at 5 million. Then you have to find some other solution, either come up with a rest or find some other piggyback solution to help bridge the gap.
The 504 loan program is the only program that has a green program component to it. If you add solar or wind or any other renewable energy, and you can reduce the energy consumption of that building by 15%, we'll give you an additional $5.5 million per project. The only time the green project is not available is on a refinance. But you can go green before you've ever used any of your traditional funds.
Buy the property, go green, fund that in a 25-year fixed, get the property, and still have your allocated $5 million that you started with for your next endeavor.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
This is the secret sauce that a lot of people
It's
don't
not secret
know.
anymore. This is going live.
They get it from CRE Guide at
Yeah,
that
that's
point
right.
now. So if someone wants a straight non-green 504 project, right, that eats into their funds, and then they go ahead and they're going to be limited on the 7A funds in the future.
Correct.
But their first deal, if they go green, It doesn't count.
When you have these larger businesses and manufacturers and so on that blow through a lot of funding for expanding and so on, hence the initiatives to grow that fund and to grow the limits.
Most companies listen to their banker, which would be the traditional, do your 504 loan now, and then, 7 years from now, we'll just refinance it, and you'll free up your money again, which is the conventional, more traditional way to think about it. And you guys are taking a different
We
tack
take a
on it,
different
which is
approach
great.
because we're underwriters. Our background is more than just, let me open up a bank account for you. Having that knowledge of what are your needs and talking it out, not only do you become a better partner, but now that business owner, right, you became a trusted advisor.
You guys are with statewide CDC. I hear of other groups called EDCs. So what's a CDC stand for? What does an EDC stand for?
Typically, EDCs are not direct lenders, right? They are advisors.
Okay.
And some of them, depending on their size, might have access to some funds, a microloan, an 8A instead of a 7A. There's
Yeah.
other programs that exist to help someone start a business. A CDC is a certified development corporation. We actually are the underwriter, servicer, funder, processor for the 504 loan program specifically.
And so what a CDC's responsibility is to do is to gather all the information, follow the rules of eligibility, do the underwriting, the cash flow, and so on. We are very hands-on in that sense.
Tim, you've been in the industry for 400 years. So you've done hundreds of millions of dollars in commercial real estate finance, in other types of finance over your career. What's your take on the 504 program?
I think the 504 program is fantastic, right? I mean, for all the reasons we just discussed. The benefit to the borrower at the end of the day is it provides a better product than the 7A. Because 504 is focused only on real estate and equipment, there's plenty of room for 7A lending, as we know. The strength of the CDCs is really, lenders are only as good as their ability to deliver the SBA program. And as we know, there's plenty of lenders out there in the 7A world who have no idea what they're doing, and they provide a service that really taints the borrower's experience so badly that like you run into them 5 years down the road and they go, oh, I don't want to do a 7A loan because I've had a horrendous experience. And that's probably due to the lender they are working with, right? And that's why when we're looking for a CDCs to use around the country, you guys obviously are rise to the top.
There's no reason why any loan should take longer than another because it's all the same.
Yeah.
Deeds of trust, loan documents, title, escrow,
Yeah.
like what's the difference if you're buying one versus the other, if you're getting SB or not?
You can go on CRE Guide and find lenders, you can find CDCs, you can find appraisers, so on and so forth. What states do Spiro and George do again? I know they do California, but what are the other ones? So I think it's 3, right?
California, Arizona, Nevada.
Yeah. When I forget in 10 seconds what states you guys do, I'm gonna go back to CRE Guide.
Sure.
I can filter under CDC, I need someone in Arizona, and you guys are gonna pop up on there. So I think it's a very useful tool, CRE Guide, and you can find CRE Guide at creguide.com, or you can download the phone app with it. Very useful tool, and it costs you nothing.
I love it.
When a CDC or when you guys get a loan, client comes to you, maybe your repeat client, you guys need to find that first trustee lender. So generally, how are you guys finding that first trustee lender?
We know all the lenders out there. We know all of their appetites. The SBA is a lot more lenient than most any other lender out there. We underwrite to the lenders.
So if you're taking it to this top tier lender, it's possibly going to be a fit there. If it's a projection-based deal, you might take it to this lender.
That's correct.
Okay.
If it's a broker, right, that's like, I need to close in 30 days, who can close the fastest? Sometimes the better rate can't do it in time.
Yeah.
And it's either losing the property, depending on who it is. Sometimes time is more important than rate.
1031 exchange or
Et
something like
cetera.
that need
So-
to close.
Do you want us to place it with a specific bank? We will take it there. If you say, find it at home, I need it closed as quickly as possible, I don't care, we'll do that.
Yeah.
You want to be involved every single email and so on, great. Or if you want us to quarterback it, we'll do that as well. It's
Yeah.
what do you want? What do you feel comfortable with? One of the big changes from 24 to 25 are your ability to refinance and cash out for working capital. Some of those limits have been removed or updated.
When you refi, you're now submitting tax returns of historical success in that property. You've proven that you are a capable owner, so we'll go up to 90 on a refi.
What's the seasoning requirement on that refi?
As long as the business has been operational for more than 2 years, debt is eligible within 6 months.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
A lot of times we run into circumstances where we're just stuck.
Yeah.
You got to wait 2 years for us to refinance because of how it was
And
originally
this is
set up by
where
somebody else.
lenders that don't know the rules well really will handicap their customer, right? A guy that owns a restaurant wants to buy a second location, and they create a new entity for that new location, and they give the loan to the new entity, not to the existing. Now, that entity has to be in business for 2 years to refi. If they had given it to the original entity as an expansion, even if they created a new entity as a holding company, but they put both of them as co-borrowers, then the history of the original comes into play, and now you only need the 6-month rule. The best way I can explain SBA is the money being used for the benefit of the business or for the benefit of the owner. If it benefits the business, 90% of the time you're eligible. If it benefits you personally, the owner, it more than likely is not.
We really love doing the SBA. We also believe that the services that we offer are reputationally built. Reputations that we built with our customers, with the borrowers, with everyone.
Really appreciate you guys coming on. Find their info at CRE Guide. You guys can filter and, find them. Contact them for an SBA 504 loan in what states? California,
Arizona,
Arizona,
Nevada.
and Nevada. And contact me or Tim for commercial real estate loans. You can find all of our profiles at CRE Guide. Just search for lenders or CDCs and you'll find us. Also sign up for your free profile today.